Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. What's up, everybody? Man, back to the Loveology podcast. Let's get some more normalcy in our lives. This is Jason, your co-host, and my other co-host. I'm supposed to say other co-host?
Just co-host.
Co-host. Ashley. What up, baby girl?
What's up? How are you doing?
I
don't know what that was. I was going to say something else.
Say something else?
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, y'all? Man, I hope y'all feeling good, feeling great. You know, getting you some workouts in, getting some fresh air, and enjoying your family and enjoying some Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to the Loveology podcast.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I heard people saying don't gain the COVID-19 19 pounds.
Oh, Lord.
Because you're not out moving around.
Don't gain the COVID-19. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think more people are moving around, to be honest. You know, I saw my neighbor, you know, she was out walking. I see, you know, a lot of people out walking now.
Walking, yeah.
Yeah, I think more people are out, you know, getting it in. And I think,
well, maybe they meant just like not in the gym and exercise classes and things like that.
I think it's a good time. I think more people are eating at home, and maybe that can make them eat more healthier.
Maybe.
And, you know, it's just it's better for the environment. You see how beautiful the skies are? It looks wonderful. So, yeah. So, you feeling all right today?
I am.
All right, cool.
Feeling good as usual.
What we doing today? What we talking about?
Oh, we are talking about something that maybe some people may think is very small, but it's actually really, really big. We are talking about organization and systems and routines, but mainly organization, and how it can help your relationship, or the lack of organization, how it can hurt your relationship, basically.
Wow.
And you may not be thinking about this, right? When you're all in love and you know, just found the love of your life, you're just all giddy. And organization, what am I worried about organization for?
Right.
But
all you care about is he fine?
And some other stuff.
He got big shoes.
Yeah, but well, for some of you, this may be a no-brainer, but for Jason and I, this was not a no-brainer.
I think it was more of a brainer to you than me.
Yes, I understood it a little bit more than you did, but I did not understand it as well as I should have, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to talk about this, and you know, surely we're not the only ones, right, that didn't understand how important having an organized home was.
Right.
So we're going to share our story and share some tips about this.
Let's get it.
But yeah, so basically, you know, the lack of organization can cause stress, and, you know, clutter can play a major role in the happiness of your marriage, or the lack of happiness in your marriage, right?
Okay.
So I
was about to say, when you talk about clutter, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about just stuff everywhere. Too much stuff, which I think that we have a problem with in America as a whole. Now, I don't really think that, like, I tend to, like, not buy enough stuff, right? So
you're kind of like a minimalist.
Yes, I'm a minimalist, but my problem is not being as organized as I could have been with the things that I did have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you, on the other hand, are very much a clutterer. For sure.
Call me a clutterer.
Yes. So I do want to start this off by saying I love Jason very much. And you have some wonderful and amazing qualities.
See.
You have definitely been one of the best things that ever happened into my life.
Oh, Lord. She's setting me up, y'all.
So this is not, bash Jason. Yeah, I got to soften the blow right now. This is what's happening.
Yeah, she's making my critical sandwich.
It's your critical sandwich that you need. So
some good stuff on top, the hard stuff in the middle, and some more good stuff at the end.
Yes.
Give it to me.
But of course, as Jason already said, that maybe I was better at this than he was. So clearly this was more of a difficult thing for me in our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and Jason was the cause of it. So Jason is messy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was
messy.
No, you're still messy. You're a work in progress, but you are definitely still messy. So you would like to tell me that you're creative whenever I would say,
I'm creative.
You are.
Yeah. Most creative people, this stuff is all over the place,
Yes. But I kind of did some research and, well, you're right. Some studies would back you up and they would say that clutter isn't always bad. One study showed that messy desks can make us more creative. They say that like an ordered environment makes you more likely to conform to expectations and to play it safe. But when you're messy, it's like, oh, I'm breaking the norm, and you can come up with more creative. You think outside of the box. You're not restricted, right?
Yes.
But
preach, preacher.
But I still feel like, okay.
So hold on. How you just gonna just see? That's what I'm talking about.
Because there's always another study.
Okay.
There's always.
But you just said I feel like.
I agree with another study.
Oh, okay. There we go.
That says that like no. I was just gonna say that I feel like you guys. First of all, I find myself to be creative too, but I'm more organized than you.
Yeah.
Okay. So organize.
So who's more creative out of me and you?
I mean, I don't know.
It's your opinion, right?
Me. So I'm not the most organized person, right? But like compared to Jason, I'm like Marie Kondo, the Japanese.
People don't even know who that is.
They know who Marie Kondo is.
Look, for
she
the
had
people
a
that don't
Netflix
know,
show called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo.
Okay,
that's when I found out about
and
her.
So what she do?
She's an organizing expert.
And she helps celebs and stuff organize.
Yeah, regular people on her show. It was regular people.
I'm just saying for the people that don't know.
Oh yes,
because I'm pretty sure it's people that don't know.
Yes, she's written some New York Times bestseller books too about tidying up and why it's important and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but like I consider myself a creative person. But, I think it's still important to be organized. I guess this whole messiness kind of help you think outside of the box. And then I saw like a quote they said Albert Einstein was messy, and they showed a picture of his desk, him sitting at his desk. And he said if a cluttered mind means, I don't know, something about chaos, then what does an empty desk mean? Like if never mind. So so I'm just like, well, Albert Einstein probably
Why you ain't write that down? You writing down all these studies and stuff.
Let me see. Maybe I did write it down somewhere.
Back up what, my portion of it.
Oh, if a cluttered desk is the sign of a cluttered mind, then what are we to think of an empty desk? You trying to say we got empty minds?
Oh, wow.
That's whack.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Deep, so deep.
No, Albert Einstein is wrong.
So deep.
That's how I felt like he was trying to say it. Maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but I'm just like
deep. Such a deep thinker.
No, that means I'm clean and organized. That's all that means.
It's just
clearly
deep.
My mind isn't empty because my desk is empty.
So deep.
Or maybe he's just saying like, what sense does that make? Maybe he's saying, or maybe he was saying that how can you compare my desk to my mind?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My desk does not represent what's going on in my mind.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I'm like, his wife was probably at home organizing the house. So, but the thing is for more organized people, I feel like, we are the ones that are making things go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like making it happen, right? The systematic step. Y'all just dreaming up all these big ideas. You know what I mean?
Right.
And no, but we're the organized people. Is like, okay, we're the one that's making it happen. But I was gonna say that like, well, they're saying creative people. The reason why we're messy is because we are so focused on achieving the goal that like the workspace is just not on my priority list. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, it's just like a hindrance to dealing with whatever it is that you're trying to get accomplished. So that I'm very much like that. That's why I said I'm not the most organized person in the world.
Right.
Because I can like flip a switch and step over a mess because I'm trying to deal with something else,
right.
And it's like, I can block that out of my mind. But some people are just like, no, I just cannot. I'm cannot function at all with any sort of mess. And that is definitely not me. I can definitely function with a mess, but I can function better if there is no mess.
Right.
But the mess is not going to stop me from being creative and functioning and getting it done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyways, studies also show that, it's just hard on everyone, right? Clutter is hard on everyone. And whether or not we realize it or not. Right. And one of the reasons being is that the human brain can only take in and process so much information from the external environment. So if you're, your brain is constantly working.
Right.
Constantly working. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm just tired and stressed out because my brain won't stop because it's processing all this stuff that's everywhere, all over the house.
Right.
So clearly that can be detrimental to our health, our mental and physical health. And then we feel stressed and overwhelmed. And we did an episode about stress. I think we mentioned it before, but it's one of my favorite
stress,
episodes.
The silent killer.
Yes, because,
silent relationship killer.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And a silent killer too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you just have to like look up how a person behaves when you're stressed. Well, you don't even have to look it up. You know how you behave when you're stressed, right?
Right.
And so that's not really conducive to having a healthy relationship, is being a really stressed out person.
Right.
So, anyways, with all that being said, I knew that Jason was messy before I married him, right? I can remember the first time not the first time I came to your apartment because you had everything cleaned then.
I had everything clean, but once you open up that closet, the avalanche is coming.
When we was dating for a while, you kind of let your room go, and I actually got to see your, papers just strolled everywhere. He didn't have a trash can in his bathroom, and so he had like tissue rolls, like the cardboard inserts of tissue rolls. They were stacked up on the counter, instead of just like buying a trash can to throw these things away in the trash can instead of like walking all the way to the kitchen to throw this away.
Yeah, I said I feel like I need a trash can.
But you just stacking the cardboard inserts up around the counter of your sink.
I was building a fort.
What else did you have? But your common area stayed really clean, but their room was like a disaster. That
should let you know I wasn't bringing nobody in there.
Right. But I kind of, first of all, you weren't dirty. So like you didn't eat food. Like we're big about not taking food in other places of the house. And so you have rules about that. And, like I can tell that it wasn't like just nasty. Right.
Right.
So it
just disorganized. That's all.
It was just totally messy and disorganized. And so I just kind of chalked it up to you being a man. There's not very many men that I know are very, neat. My brother is very, very neat.
Super amazing.
Yes, he's neater than I am for sure. Like, but I just kind of placed like a gender role sort of thing, a gender stereotype on this of like, oh well, that's a man, that's just how men are. And I kind of figured, we had a connection, a very good connection. I figured, it's all right. I don't mind that, right? Like you got so much other things going for you. I can deal with this. I don't really. And then
you like that charm I was putting on you.
Okay. So, anyways, so I just figured I can deal with it. But you know how people say, you knew what you were getting into, right? Because I was very cautious about the way that I selected the person that I wanted to marry. And I feel like I really did see you very clearly. You know, I was making it a point to see you very clearly. So I knew that you were very messy and disorganized, right? And so this phrase of like, well, you knew what you were getting yourself into, I feel like that's not completely accurate, right?
Yeah.
Because basically you have an idea of what it might be like, but you never actually really know until you are in it.
Right.
So I didn't know how difficult this was going to be for me. Right. So it was fine up until, and I was basically able to like maintain our apartments and whatever.
Right.
Before we had a child, I really just seriously didn't mind picking up behind you. Like, it's no big deal. I can, you know, this is an area that you struggle. I just kind of accepted that, you know, that's who you are, you know, and I didn't mind picking up behind you. But then I had a child.
and for the people, you know, that this is their first episode listening to, there's a lot of things that I do that you don't have to worry about.
Absolutely.
As well. So I just want people to know
That's
I'm not just a slob.
Excuse
here.
me. We are doing the sandwich, okay? Like,
Okay.
I started off with how wonderful you
I
are.
don't want them to, you know, cut the podcast off. It's like, oh man, Jason a slob.
Well, what would you call yourself?
Huh?
What would you call yourself?
I would call
I wouldn't
myself
call you a slob.
Well, you
That's
know,
just such
people
a
probably, you know, I don't know. I call myself very creative.
Okay. Are
And
you
my
messy?
my mind is scattered.
Okay.
And yeah, I do. I should have, you know, some systems. I don't. You have systems. You find these systems that I don't even know exist. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense once you bring it to my attention. And it's wonderful, right? Once we implement it. But, you know, just like anything you do something new, it takes time to kind of get everything going. But some systems come right into place immediately and we start doing it. So yeah, I like one. So I don't know what I call myself, just unexperienced in this category.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just unexperienced. What's so funny?
Are you okay? Is this okay?
No, I'm super good.
Okay.
I just want people to know.
All right. But yeah, so yes, I had a child. We had a child. We now have 2 children, but we had our first child. And this is when it started to become a problem. Child, you got more laundry, you got more dishes, you got more clutter because you have toys. And now I have to try to maintain all of this stuff, you know? And I just couldn't keep up with it anymore, really. I could see that we didn't get, well, basically we got a house, which is more to maintain. Then we had another child, which is even more to maintain. So I can kind of see that if we continued, I just felt like things were very chaotic and not orderly. So we were functioning, right? Still had a pretty healthy and strong relationship, but I felt like if we kept going down that road of like chaos and not being orderly and a little stressed out, that it was going to create some major problems. I began to see an increase in disagreements. You didn't, maybe you just don't remember or something, like, I don't know. Like, you didn't feel it. You didn't feel like we were having like an increase of disagreements when we bought a house. You know what I mean? Yeah,
probably I just, you know, didn't notice it.
Okay, so well, maybe it was just more so me because clearly, you know, it bothers the more organized person. Disorganization will bother a person that is more organized.
Right.
And then there's also some studies that say that women can be more bothered too, like in general. And I think it was a UCLA study where it said that women had elevated levels of stress hormone, cortisol, when surrounded by too many physical objects in their home. And that hormone is also associated with depressive and anxious symptoms. And the study also found that men were not as emotionally bothered by mess and clutter, right? So y'all just not as emotionally bothered as we are, right? So here's some ways that I will say that it was showing up for me in a very stressful way.
Talk to me.
One thing was that Jason loves to invite people over. And I love to have people over too, but I was always very uptight about it. and I just didn't ever feel like the house was in a very acceptable shape, in my opinion. Right. So then I would like try to run around and try to clean everything, and that's stressful, and I want to have people over. I want him to have his fun, but I also don't want them to see, the house a mess. And it's also very tiresome for me to try to clean it up before they come over here. And I just know that people judge women more harshly for these things. Like everybody looking at the wife like, why the house ain't clean? They're not looking at the husband.
Yeah.
Would you agree to that?
I don't know how those folks be thinking.
Yeah. Y'all let us know. That's the way that it was. And here's another way. Junkie people always like to say that they know where everything is. Yeah. That's so not true. So not true. Sometimes they do.
Yeah, I'm about to say I know where stuff is.
Man, but can you still ask me where stuff is?
Yeah, because you have a better memory than I do, so you know where they are. like you just know. Like it could be something random. Hey, babe, where's the scissors? You know exactly where they are.
Well, hopefully it's because I've become even more organized, and they should go back to the same place that they came from.
Yeah.
So, but this is very mentally taxing on the person that is, that is keeping up with all this stuff. I got to try to remember where everything is for you and the 2 kids and for myself, but when everything has a place, everybody knows where it is, and anybody can easily access it, right? So that's like the whole purpose of it. You don't have to ask me where the scissors are anymore.
I mean, not now, but before we had them in that spot, I was just kind of using an example of something random.
Yeah. But no, that's a good example. Like just something as small as, oh, do you know where the scissors are? Right.
Right.
You don't have to ask me where the scissors are anymore because we have designated a spot for where the scissors are. You can go get it. Now, you're working on making sure you put everything back. You've been doing a really good job with the scissors though.
I've been doing a good job with the keys too.
Yes, we're going to get to that story.
Kind of figured.
So yeah, just like not being able to find things, So matter of fact, where are the keys? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys.
You know how you went too far and you messed up, and if you do this one more time, it's like it's over. Like everything's over. That's how I felt.
Yes, I was so upset. I could not find the keys. Now, this is the thing. We actually have little hooks for where the keys are supposed to go. And Jason was at work. I dropped our daughter off at
I think they've been up there for like about a year, huh?
Yeah, so this is actually why it was even more maddening to me, right? Because that was one thing that we had, one organization tool or system that we had put in place.
Right.
And it had been there for a while.
Yeah.
So you should put the keys on the hook.
But I've been keeping keys in my pocket and putting on my nightstand for the last, 20 years of my life.
Well, you still do it, but it's your keys. And you took the keys to the car that I normally drive.
Right.
And you did, whatever. I don't know. You didn't put them on the hook. So I'm trying to take my daughter to preschool, and I am running around trying to find the keys to the car. I'm flipping over everything. Jason is at work. I'm like going through pants, pockets, looking in under the bed, looking everywhere for these keys. And there's like a rule with her, at her preschool. If you don't bring them by a certain time, she can't come in. So I called him, and he asked me, did I look here? I was like, you know what? I gotta go because I'm about to lose it. Okay. About to lose it.
I was like, I'll come home and find them for you.
Yeah, he offered to come home and find them, and he did, but by the time I found them, they were tucked underneath like the back of the pillow on our couch. That just a place that I would have never put them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know why you put them there. But
your arm be kind of back there, maybe. It's a spot that I would check. Some of the first few spots.
I checked the couch, but you would have to see what kind of couch that we had to understand why I wouldn't have looked back there, right? So I'm looking underneath the couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was so.
It's a top, basically like a top crevice of the back pillow.
Yes.
It's up there, but the back pillow does not detach, so it's like it makes like a little crevice.
Yes. Well, I was extremely upset. It's just so, this is absolutely ridiculous.
I probably didn't even do it, to be honest.
No, you did. You were the last person with the car keys. I put them back.
The kids be doing stuff sometimes.
No.
But I take the fall, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to take the fall.
Oh, my God.
It's
just extremely stressful. And it was just very unnecessary for her to miss a day of school because we could not find the keys. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. And so when I was working, Jason would never put her shoes where they were supposed to go. So he would pick
Never?
Never.
So you can't use that word.
I can't.
Not on this?
99% of the time.
Okay.
The shoes. Oh yeah. So I would do drop off in the mornings and he would do pickup in the evenings. So, in the mornings he's already going to work and I am trying to get her off to daycare and I can't find her shoes. And I'm trying not to be late for work, and I've told him like a lot of times, please put the shoes back where they're supposed to go. Right. So when you already dealing with like time crunches, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. We're working, we have children, we're going to different activities, we got to get food prepared, we got to bathe them, we got to get them to bed at a decent hour, then we got to wake up and do it all over again.
Right.
When you're dealing with like this time crunch the entire day, I cannot waste any time running around looking for her shoes. Right. It was just so stressful and it was so upsetting to me.
You know what? And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And I was just kind of thinking like, what if I was in your situation? Like, I don't know. I think I would like buy some extra shoes and just have some emergency shoes.
Well, I did. And sometimes we had to use those shoes, right? Like, but sometimes no shoes were available, Yeah. Like I can't find any shoes, So it's like, yeah. And then I don't know, backpack, can't find a coat, We got more than one coat, but sometimes I can't find any of them.
Yeah, something ain't right. I can't be the tornado just destroying everything.
Yes, Jason. Yes, you can.
And, since we own that, sorry I used the tornado reference, but, shout out to, pray for Jonesboro. Because they had a bad tornado.
Yes, we're from Arkansas, so he's talking about
Jonesboro,
a city
Arkansas.
in Arkansas.
Yes, so pray for Jonesboro, Arkansas. Hope y'all, get everything situated here soon. Yes,
we are thinking of you and we're definitely praying for you.
Yeah.
So yes, Jason, you can be like a little Tasmanian devil, just like, when you're trying to find something, I like don't want you to try to look for anything because you just like tear up everything trying to find something. I was like, oh my God.
I find it though.
Yes. So clearly this became way more difficult for me. So I just kind of realized this just wasn't working for our family, and I basically, I don't think I ever really first of all, it took me a while to really see, okay, the problem is that we have not organized this home. You know what I'm saying? Like actually, like you said, if we do create a space for everything, right, and create systems, it may take you a while to get the hang of it, but you'll get the hang of it. You are very great at like just wanting to try to improve and do what you need to do in order to help us have, the best relationship possible. Right. So it took me a minute to just really understand, okay, this is what the problem is and we need to fix this. Right. So what I had to come to terms with, because I never really tried to help you become more organized. I just accepted that you were messy and I've always, I've always heard that you're not supposed to try to change your spouse, and which I totally agree with, right?
Right.
Like you're supposed to accept who they are, but then there's also this job that we have.
We
as
all
partners.
should be getting better as
Right.
people.
Right, exactly. There's also this job that we have of like we're supposed to help our spouse grow, right? So there's like a line between
I mean, yeah, you're supposed to help, but also that person should have a sense of, hey, I want to be better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to strive for excellence, like they say. So yeah, it's not just on you; it should be on your spouse as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's a key attribute that you should look for. Hey, do you strive for excellence? It's something so small, but it can mean a whole lot.
Yeah. But I guess I'm using that example of like you're supposed to help your spouse grow because you can't see what I can see.
Right. And but once you bring it to my attention,
Exactly.
it's like, okay, you're right. That makes sense. Let's do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but if I didn't have that drive in me to be better, then even if you do bring it to my attention, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. But, and like I said, you are always like, okay, if Ashley brings something to my attention, then I'm going to try to do better.
For sure.
But so with this particular situation, like I said, I knew this before I got married, and I just felt like, oh, I'm just supposed to accept this about him and not kind of challenge him to grow in this area because it's just like so much of who he is. You know what I mean? But I did try to tell you like something, and you say, well, I'm just creative. I'm just messy, But I think that,
it's a way, it's a way you can do it,
Really, I think helping you really understand how this is impacting our family.
Or, after a night of passionate baby.
Okay. All right. I'll try that next time when I want something. So I just think that was a very big moment for me of growth. So just like understanding that, like, yeah, I can still accept Jason for who he is and not like nag and stuff like that. But I'm also supposed to be, really challenging him to, grow in certain areas. And it didn't really hit me until after I had children and got a house. And it's just like, okay, this is just too much, like it hit me hard. Right. So we are currently still like actually in the process of learning more about organizing and learning systems to help us run more smoothly as a family. But things are definitely so much better. Jason was like, he don't know why, but he feels better. So why do you think you feel better, Jason? Have you thought about it some more?
I mean, things are, I guess it's easier to do things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. When towels are, like I had an issue, getting up in the morning, taking showers, didn't have any towels here and there. They maybe in the washer or dryer or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It might be folded up in a basket or might be dirty. You know what I'm saying? But
most likely they were dirty. Right?
So just something simple like that, just being able to just easily get towels and get soap is there. We have a surplus of soap. If we're running out, I can go down and get soap. So it just makes things move. It's just like oil. You know what I'm saying? It just makes everything runs more smoothly.
A well-oiled machine, right? So, I mean, that's the goal, right? And like for people who may not think it's important or really understand the importance of it, it is exactly what Jason just said. It's a well-oiled machine. If you're running smoothly, you don't have as much pressure. Some of that pressure is relieved. Then you can just get about the business of enjoying your life. You know what I mean?
Right.
It frees up more space and more time. It also saves you money because sometimes we purchase items because we can't find it.
Right.
And so, and there's just no issues that's arising because you can't find like really important things. Like when you have small kids, you need to know where their shot records are. You need to know where their birth certificates are.
I don't know where no shot records.
You do.
I mean, I know they probably in there somewhere, like in this little closet over here. Right?
Yes, but you supposed to know. Like I've told
exactly.
But I can easily tell you where to go.
I mean, yeah, you can.
Okay. So we still got some more work to do.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. See stuff like that. She knows exactly where stuff is.
Well, I put it in a red binder.
But it's other color binders.
There's only one red one.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, how do I know? Oh, this is a sharp record binder.
Because hey, this is a good point. I didn't finish my project. I didn't label my binder. Right. Yeah. So this is like I said, something that we're still working on. I used to think when I saw like the Pinterest pictures of the, cabinets that have things labeled, they're just doing too much. But no, actually labeling is awesome when you have people in your house, because you can, Jason, if he did not have me around for some reason, he could go to the office and look at a label and say, oh, it's probably in here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't have to ask Ashley where this is.
Right.
And then labels also help you put things back where it's supposed to be. If it has a label, then, you're more likely to put it back there.
Right.
So I'm still working on labeling stuff. But yeah, so the point, I'm trying to get to the place where Jason don't have to ask me where stuff is. He should know where it is. But I think that it's important for people to kind of, like Jason said, as individuals, we're supposed to be learning and growing. So, this whole idea that, oh, I'm just not organized. No, nobody is born organized. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you were saying earlier that I find systems. That's because I'm actively pursuing like the knowledge of being more organized.
Right.
I'm learning. I'm doing this on purpose.
Right.
Not something that's just like floating and hit me in my head. I'm watching things. I'm researching organization tips. Looking at all those stay-at-home moms and, organization experts. And I'm doing like a lot of work, to learn how to be even more organized than what I was. So I think we just need to get rid of this idea, oh, I'm creative and I can't be organized. It's like, for me too, like I said, because I wasn't the most organized person. So I was better than you, but I still had a lot of stuff to learn, you know? So, it's like I said, it's all about learning and growing. I just need to cultivate that skill. Jason is coming right behind me, you know? Yeah. Cultivating his skill of being more organized.
Literally.
But again, like if your partner, so I'm kind of going into some tips now of if you're dealing with this in your life, but if your partner doesn't really value organization or they just can't really see it, it's just really important for y'all to have a conversation and try to help them understand or try to help them see why it's important. And,
yeah, you got to have that conversation early. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, you can. If you're single out there, that's an important conversation to have. If you're married or in a relationship, have that conversation now because you got to start on it. It's important. This is very important.
Yeah. I know, like I said, when I first started, it just seems like, I don't know why people don't talk about these things. Like these are very practical things. Mm-hmm. And then when we talk about relationships, we talk about like the big important things too, which that's important to talk about, but it's also like these small like day-to-day things that can really like, man, it can really mess up your relationship.
Some people are selfish, you know that?
Yes.
Some people get this information they don't want to share. They saying, I want my relationship to be better than everybody else. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some people do that. Some people, I know it's kind of hard for you to imagine that, but yeah, some people literally know information, probably have their friend, their girlfriend, and talking to them all the time. And, they're telling them there's issues, but then, they may have the answer for them, but don't even tell them. Mm-hmm. That happens. So, it's just, this is good, free information. And we definitely appreciate you. The family appreciates you. And I appreciate you, and I think our listeners appreciate you. So thank you.
Thank you, honey. Yeah. We appreciate you too. For sure. So yes, it's going to be hard. Like if you're disorganized right now, it's going to be hard to try to find a place for everything. It is. We're still working on it, right? Right. Especially if you have a lot of stuff. So, but you just gotta like keep the big picture in mind and understand that it will pay off. Right. Like I am a firm believer in it now. I was like, nope, this is definitely going to pay off. And like I said, it just becomes way more important when you have children. Maybe if it's just you and your partner, it's not such a big deal. But when you have kids and that time to be disappearing the way that it do, because you
right,
because you run around trying to take care of your kids, everything has to be like automated. You know, it don't have to be, but your life is going to be so much better,
so much easier,
so much easier.
You can do other stuff that you want to do.
Yes, we want to have fun.
Right.
We want to be able to enjoy life, and I think that men really like to have fun. So I think if a woman is having a problem with this and deciding that she wants to try to, you know, work as a team to get her husband on board with like, we need to get this place organized.
Right.
Just tell him we're gonna have so much more fun.
Right.
Once we get this done, we are going to be able to just have a great time, save time,
and yeah, ladies, you know, when you're convincing your boo thing, you know, husband, boyfriend, whatever, significant other, fun, you know, can also be fun in the bedroom. Because you want to explain that, you know, maybe the sex has went down because of the clutter that's in my head.
Right.
So if you can get more organized, then you can, you know, have more sessions in the bedroom.
Yes. We've talked about this before on other episodes as far as like, you know, women and mothers and wives, sometimes we just feel so overwhelmed. We just have so much stuff to do. You know what I mean?
What's the name of the episode?
I can't remember. I mean, well, we definitely did one called A Woman's Work. And that was talking about divvying up the household responsibilities, which this ties into that as well.
Right.
But yeah, you know, just I'm sure we talked about it multiple times as far as like women, you know, I feel like men have so much free time that they have time to think about sex. And women are like so busy running around taking care of everything,
right,
and being overwhelmed that we don't even have time to think about sex, right? And it's just so not fair. And then the husband goes out and cheat with some random chick that don't have to take care of the wifely and motherly duties, right? It's just so unfair. So I think that's gonna be my mission in life, is getting these men helping out in the house and like not blaming the woman for everything. It's like, why don't you try to help her out? Maybe she would be more relaxed, and maybe she would want to have sex with you.
Right.
But because she's not relaxed because you got her doing everything.
Right.
No, she's not in the mood.
Right.
She's not in the mood. So yes, great point, Jason. Great point. Another great reason to be organized.
Just trying to think from a male perspective.
Yes, to help the man out. Another tip is to declutter, which is, you know, get rid of stuff that you don't need, right? Get a system in place to kind of like check to make sure that things aren't piling up. Some people have this rule that when they buy a new article of clothing, they get rid of another article.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that one, but as I don't buy clothes very often, right? But, you know, I do have clothes because we were moving so much, and I was in the Navy, and then I had babies, so my body changed a lot. So I have to get rid of some old clothes that's in the garage, right? So if I would have got rid of them sooner, they wouldn't be still, you know, hanging on to us,
right,
in our way, like 3-4 years later. Right, yeah. Like they're just in a box out there that I need to get rid of.
You remember that? Remember, you want to tell them about the time I was moving my stuff from Memphis to Virginia, and because I was so disorganized in moving, I actually moved trash from Memphis to Virginia.
Oh my God.
Who moves trash?
Again, I was so upset because I was deployed. Now, so again, Jason has some wonderful qualities, so I can be upset, but then it's like, oh, I can't be too upset because he did this by himself.
Yeah,
so,
she wasn't around.
Yes, I was deployed, and Jason, I was about to come back from deployment. So Jason, before deployment, we weren't married, so we didn't have a place together.
Right.
So now I'm on my way back, and Jason has found us an apartment in Virginia. He was moving from Memphis to Virginia because I was going to continue to be stationed in Virginia. And so you found us an apartment. You took care of all of that.
She had the last 3 places we've lived, from the apartment in Virginia,
our whole marriage,
apartment, well, a house we rented out in California, and a house we bought Ashley didn't have to worry about anything.
You know what? But guess what? Guess what Mama got over here? That good credit. Okay.
I'm just saying. Yes, you do have, your name was on the lease.
So that's what I did.
But what I'm saying is you don't have to go through the rigmarole of looking for it and comparing and talking and doing the walkthroughs and,
Absolutely. That's why I'm giving you credit, right?
It's a lot.
So it was definitely a lot.
If anybody know anything about buying a house, it's a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
All Ash had to do was, here, baby, sign
some papers.
Yes. That's it.
I had to go to a couple meetings.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, when we was closing it.
Right.
At the end.
I had to come with you to look at the houses.
Yeah. No, not all of them.
Not all of them, yeah.
Like maybe two. The one we bought and the one we didn't. Another one we didn't buy.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we digress. So yes. So yeah, he took care of all that, and then he had to move his stuff from, Memphis to Virginia. So now when we were first moving in together, I didn't have a child. And so I actually did organize our apartment. Like I had the time off and I was able to organize our apartment really quickly. But Jason, he didn't help me with this. You didn't help me with this at all, right? Yeah. Like there was so much stuff I had to go through. And yeah, I saw a couple of bags of just trash. I'm like, Jason, before you move, you're supposed to go through the stuff. Why wouldn't you go through the stuff while you're packing it up? Why would you take a physical item that don't have to be transported all the way across the United States?
The problem was I was, as a man, we do the crazy things, but a lot of the things that I was packing to transport, I was putting them in trash bags. So that's the problem. So the trash got transported because it was in the trash bag as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going through all of this stuff, just a mountain of stuff, and he wouldn't help me with any of it. But he would have just got in my way anyway, so it's fine. But I actually was able to. I really took some time. I had, like I said, I was coming back from deployment, so I had some time off, and I was able to get that house, get the apartment organized pretty quickly. And when we bought our house, it was a totally different story. And now we are moving more stuff, right? And I just didn't have that time frame to get the house organized, and it just really then just having such a tight schedule with so much stuff going on, then I became sick. I mean, because I was pregnant, right? I became pregnant like a week or something after we moved into the house. Jason knocked me up and was like, yeah, let's celebrate. We bought a house. I mean, knock one in you, put one in you.
I'm excited. It's exciting times in our life.
Oh, so yeah, and I haven't had time to organize. Then I got sick and working and have a child, and now I'm pregnant. It was just, it was a lot. So I think that was a major thing. So yes, Jason definitely wasted space in a moving vehicle by packing up trash and moving it across the country. So, anyway, so. I wish that I had been open to this next tip that I'm about to say, and maybe you need to spend a little money. Maybe you need to get some help, right? And
who came up with that idea?
You did. So, and we talked about this in another episode of the ways that Jason has positively influenced me. I am very frugal, very tight with money. Sometimes I suffer too much because I don't want to spend money. And I wish that I didn't even know really that much about organizing, so I didn't know that professional organizers really existed, that they can come into your house. It's still too expensive to me, but maybe.
What's some of the prices?
I don't know. I
know a range.
Yeah, it just depends on the organizer. I kind of did like a quick search, and I don't know, it was like $200 an hour or something like that. And I was like, that's a lot of money. Close to $200. But maybe that's like, I don't know, a celebrity organizer or something. Somebody just charges a lot of money. Yeah. Right. So, but if you're in a relationship and the two of you clearly just don't have any idea of how to organize your house and how to create systems for yourself and your family, hey, this may be something that you need to look into. You know, hiring a professional organizer, having them come in and quickly show you. And that's basically what Marie Kondo was doing in her show, was going in and helping families organize their house. You know, and
could you be able to consult some ladies out there over the phone or video?
Shoot, I feel like by now, yeah, because I've done a lot of research. I feel like I'm a professional organizer now. Like, I can do it. Okay. I can totally go out there.
But you could do it virtually though.
Yeah, I can help. Yeah.
Okay.
Jason thinking of a business idea.
I'm just saying.
Wonderful qualities that he has. Okay. Another tip?
Look, because the reason why I'm saying that, because it's 2020, y'all. You know, we under quarantine and all this good stuff. I know the pressure's on you because you need to get organized. And so you might need to holler at the Loveology podcast co-host.
Yeah, let us know. Send us an email. I'll Zoom you. I'll give you some tips, some things that I've learned, because I didn't go the money route. Like I said, I suffer instead of sending money. I'm instead of spending money. And so I became a stay-at-home mom. And
how about we do that for our Patreons?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that for our Patreons. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a Patreon to Loveology Podcast, Ashley will gladly give you some tips.
Absolutely.
What tier? Any tier?
I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. But to become a Patreon, just go to Loveology Podcast, find that button, pick a tier, and join us.
Yes, give me a call. We can do this. We can do some tips on organization.
Because actually the VIP tier is an hour consult on relationships and stuff, and so maybe this could fit into that tier. Who knows?
Yeah,
but you know, we'll talk about it later.
Right. So another tip was to divide and conquer, and we already talked about this a little bit, which was a lot of what we talked about in a previous episode called "A Woman's Work," and it was a 2-part session or period or whatever. Yeah, and it's just about, like, you know, kind of going into like the systems portion of this is understanding that everybody should be helping out around the house and creating systems to make this flow. So one system that I implemented that I feel like if you're working full time, you can still do is I wash a load of laundry every day, except for on the weekends. On Saturdays, we wash sheets. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I'm about to say, because I ain't seen not one sheet wash yesterday.
No, I have done it before.
Okay,
right?
But I'm just saying, I ain't seen that.
I'm still working on the habit of doing it, but I got the habit of washing a different load of laundry every day throughout the week. And so if you're working, you could like wake up, depending on what time you got to go to work, wake up like, I don't know, most people probably wake up like 2 hours earlier, maybe, you know, depending on what they got going on. As soon as you wake up, throw a load of laundry in the wash, and then, you know, the wash probably is going to take 30 to 40 minutes. Throw the clothes in the dryer before you go to work, and then at night, you and your spouse or you, whoever, can fold laundry while
Netflix.
You watch some TV.
You know what I'm
saying? So that's because even though I'm a stay-at-home mom, it's like still a ton of stuff to do.
Right.
And I just would like our weekends to be just like happy fun, right? I don't want to be doing this on the weekend. I don't want to spend all day cleaning on the weekend. Right. Especially because Jason's off. We get to hang out together as a family, go do stuff whenever we get out of this quarantine, you know? So my goal is to like have weekends just be fun, right? So I think that is a good system that could happen. And people can implement that even if you're working full time, and it'll help you, you know, instead of having loads and piles of laundry. Right. So, divide and conquer. Maybe that's something that your husband can be in charge of. Maybe the wife don't have to be in charge of that, right? Anybody can do that, right? So, and with that, you know, make sure those whatever systems that you decide to put in place, make sure they're simple. Otherwise, you won't use them. Jason is definitely, I mean, I had to learn that with him because I remember I was trying to put together like some sort of little folder mail organizing system. And for some reason I was putting a clip on the folder, and Jason was like, no, take this clip off. I'm not going to use this. He said, get in my way.
Yeah, slow it down.
Yes. And I was like, I'm going to keep the clip. I want it to be neat, and I'm going to keep the clip on it. But then I realized that no,
I'm not using it.
no, I wasn't using it.
Oh,
like
wow.
my folder that I had,
Yeah.
I wasn't even using it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, oh, he was right about this. And this goes back to being.
Well, I ain't never heard this story.
Oh, I'm sorry, you hearing it now?
Dang. Give me my props. Yeah, go for
I'm giving you all your props.
I'm just talking love.
Okay. So anyways, I hope you guys that we have helped you all see how important this could be. Oh, I wanted to tell this story. When I first started like organizing the house, what?
I'm still waiting on my end part of my sandwich, man.
I'm not finished.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, go for it.
Anyways. I when I first started organizing the house, I was watching this, organizing girl on YouTube, and she has like a battery box, right? Like
okay.
a
Okay.
container
What we have.
where you put all your batteries. Because how many times have you ran around the house trying to find
But
batteries?
real talk though, we should get the one off of Amazon.
What's wrong with the battery box that I have?
Because the one on Amazon is way better.
It's more organized.
Soup gel.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't want it. Okay.
I'm gonna show it to you.
All right. Back to my story. So I was like, that was like the first little organizing project that I did, right? And so I just got like this plastic container from an arts and crafts store that had different containers or different slots within
Sections.
it. Sections, yeah. And I was going through like our office closet still had boxes in it from the move, you know what I mean? And I found, some batteries, and I was so excited because oh my gosh, I have a place to put these batteries.
Right.
Like old batteries is just in a box that had never been opened.
Right.
And then I don't know, maybe like a week later, our smoke detector started going off.
Yeah.
And Jason was like, do we have I guess I gotta try to find, battery for this thing. And you took it down to see what kind of battery we needed, and you were able to go straight to the battery box.
Yeah, battery box is awesome. I'm gonna be honest, especially when you got kids and they got toys and them Fire Stick remotes.
Yes,
Oh my God.
And a lot of people
put it in. Before then, you gotta, especially me, I would have to go to the store just to get 2 AAA batteries or 1,000 AAA batteries that you're like, why do I don't even know where to put them? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that battery box. If you want to start with that battery box. Trying to tell y'all, go to Amazon. And check it out.
And I mean, if you can just, I don't know.
Like
so a lot of people
organizer.
have it like in the drawer, but it's just like in the junk drawer, but it's still hard to find. And so I really like that idea that this girl had. It was like, okay, the AAA batteries in this section and the C batteries are in this section. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, like why not just have a whole box, just a whole lot of different batteries, like a toolbox.
Just go on buy 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it's going out, and so it was just great. So that was like, I was so excited because I told Jason, I was like, see, because I think you kind of making fun of me a little bit, like you do.
I talk a lot of noise, but
yeah,
my heart is there.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, my first win, like less than a week after I started organizing the house. Jason would have, like you said, had to go to the grocery store, go to the store to get batteries, but you didn't have to do any of that.
Nope.
And the fact that those batteries were like in a box in the office, right? But because when I came across it, when I'm going through this stuff, I had already designated a place for it to go. I was able just like to take it straight down and put it in its place, and you were able to find it. And so, like I said, I know for some of you this is like no brainers, right? But I know me and Jason are not the only ones, so that's why we decided to share.
Right.
Even though some of y'all may be thinking, duh,
right.
like why y'all didn't know this? But hey,
there's some stuff that we know that you don't know,
right?
And you got some stuff that you know that we don't know.
Right.
So we can all grow together.
Yes, absolutely.
So we study in love. It's loveology, man. Come on.
Yes. And again, it's just a reminder of why we talk about these sort of things is because like this stuff can really damage your relationship.
Yep.
So the end of Jason's sandwich, the other bun in Jason's sandwich.
Give me that bun, baby.
Jason, you are just an awesome human being.
Sound like you're coming off the dome with this.
I am. You are
not scripted.
An awesome human being. I just love you so much. You're just a wonderful husband, and you inspire me and teach me so many different things. Awesome. And I love you.
Oh, I love you too, baby. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
So, How that wasn't painful, right? It was
No.
Okay, great.
Not
All right.
at all.
So that concludes it, you guys. Like I said, I really hope that we were able to hammer in like how important it is. And like I said, we're still in the process. If you decide to start organizing, have grace and mercy for yourself, and know that it's going to take some time, and just stick with it because it's worth it. And we definitely have way more fun in the Harris household now that we have started to be more organized and implemented some systems that help us make our family run more smoothly.
For sure. And guess what? We want to hear some of those tips that you already have implemented in your household. We want to hear from you. We're going to do a live discussion, and we do it actually every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific. I was about to say Pacific, but it's 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be on Facebook, y'all, so definitely check us out. Man, you know, if Patreon is not your cup of tea and you just want to just donate to the Loveology podcast, you can do so via Cash App as well. You know the dollar symbol and type in Loveology podcast, and you can drop $1 or $2 in there. We'll definitely appreciate it. That'll help us get more books to research and it's give us extra content that we can purchase the different things. So definitely appreciate you guys for all everything that you do. All right. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, man. We love y'all. And guess what? We're going to catch y'all next time. So peace out.
Bye. You've been listening to the Loveology podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.